What if I told you $148 million could get you a seat at the table with a former and possibly future President of the United States? Not just any seat, but a filet mignon-fueled, ultra-exclusive dinner inside one of the world's most powerful networks. This isn't a Wall Street insiders club. This isn't Silicon Valley elite. This is the new frontier, a crypto-fueled inner circle shaping the future of global finance, regulation, and, potentially, democracy itself. But is this innovation or influence peddling taken to a new digital extreme? Picture this. Outside the Trump National Golf Club in Potomac Falls, Virginia, protesters wave signs declaring "Stop Crypto Corruption" and "No Corrupt Fools," their voices barely heard over the hum of luxury cars. Inside, beneath glittering chandeliers and guarded by the Secret Service, the 220 largest buyers of the Trump meme coin are gathering. They aren't just here for steak and halibut, they're here for direct access. The very top 25 have made it to the VIP, an audience with Donald Trump himself, who stands behind a lectern adorned with the presidential seal. How did we get to a world where digital coins, often dismissed as jokes, are now buying real-world power? And what does it mean for the future of American politics, the global economy, and the already volatile world of crypto? Buckle up, because in this video we go step by step through a story weaving together technology, money, and political muscle, ending with a dilemma that could shake the foundations of trust in both markets and government. First, some context. If you followed crypto even peripherally, you know the space thrives on hype, speculation, and most of all, community. Back in the early days, Bitcoin and Ethereum offered the promise of decentralizing finance, of putting power back in the hands of the people. But somewhere along the way, a fever for meme coins took hold. These jokey tokens, think Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and now Trump, combine viral online culture with a casino-like spirit. People buy in, hoping for moonshots, memes, and sometimes just a sense of belonging. But behind the memes, real money moves, fast. Enter Donald Trump. Love him or loathe him, there's no denying his instinct for spectacle. Just days before his re-entry into the White House, he launched the Trump meme coin. Officially, it was for fun, a wink to his online base. Unofficially, it was an explosive experiment. Could a coin named after a political figure not only rally supporters but generate serious cash and, crucially, provide access? Let's look at the numbers. According to blockchain analytics firm Inca Digital, nearly $148 million was poured into Trump by investors seeking a dinner invite. Of those, the top 25 spenders secured a private VIP reception with the president. This was not some shadowy back channel. It was openly promoted, with participants flaunting their tickets on social media. The biggest spender, Chinese billionaire Justin Sun, shelled out over $40 million. Sun isn't just any crypto enthusiast. He's under investigation by the SEC in the United States, and his very presence sparked alarm among regulators. As Sun posted selfies outside the club, a senator from Oregon, Jeff Merkley, stood among the protesters, calling the event the Mount Everest of corruption. But that's not how everyone sees it. At the dinner, Trump hammered home a message. The Biden administration had persecuted crypto innovators, driving them offshore, and now he, Trump, was bringing them back. There is a lot of sense in crypto, he declared, a lot of common sense in crypto. Then, in true Trumpian fashion, he punctuated the night by dancing to YMCA. For his supporters and many in the crypto world, this was a clarion call, the return of business-friendly policies, a new golden age for digital assets. For critics, it was something else entirely, a brazen auction of political influence to the highest blockchain bidder. Before we zoom in on the main conflict, let's back up to understand the mechanics and motivations at play here. Meme coins, by their very nature, are not designed like traditional assets. They don't have cash flow or underlying earnings. Their value is driven almost entirely by community hype, celebrity endorsements, and viral moments. In the case of Trump, its surge and subsequent crash were textbook examples. The launch announcement sent the coin to the stratosphere, but like most meme coins, volatility soon took over. Still, those behind it, especially entities connected to the Trump organization, collected millions in trading fees as the coin's value churned. So, what's the real allure for buyers? Is it just a financial gamble, a chance to ride the next wave? Or is the value now access, literal proximity to the levers of power? Political fundraising has always danced close to this line, but crypto adds an entirely new dimension. Traceable, but pseudonymous transactions, global liquidity, and the allure of exclusivity. Attending a dinner with a president isn't new, but paying in meme coins is. Critics, including several prominent senators and bipartisan watchdogs, argue this fusion of Web3 hype and old-school political access is a ticking time bomb. Senator Richard Blumenthal has launched a preliminary investigation into Trump's crypto ventures, warning that such events risk eroding public trust and blurring the line between governance and personal gain. The White House, for its part, insists Trump is strictly following all conflict of interest laws, and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt laughed off the idea that the president was profiting off the presidency. She pointed to Trump's business success prior to entering public office and asserted, not only has he lost wealth, but he also almost lost his life. To suggest otherwise is, frankly, completely absurd. And yet, the headlines tell a different story. Within hours of the dinner announcement, Trump-affiliated entities reportedly made $1.3 million in trading fees. Blockchain data shows that large wallets, some traced to offshore entities, aggressively bought up Trump, triggering price spikes and wild speculation. For a moment, it looked like crypto was once again the world's hottest ticket. But as the dust settled, the same questions resurfaced. Were these investors buying into a financial future, or simply buying access? Let's bring in the experts. Dr. Amy Castor, a financial journalist who's covered cryptocurrencies since the early 2010s, notes, meme coins are social experiments, and in some ways, a new form of digital patronage. The risk is that when you combine speculative mania with proximity to political power, transparency often falls by the wayside. Others see opportunity. This is the golden age for digital assets, said one of Trump's crypto chiefs. With the Biden administration seen, at least in certain circles, as hostile to crypto, some investors believe Trump's return could open floodgates for innovation, deregulation, and market growth. Technologists argue that the decentralizing spirit of crypto, if properly harnessed, could democratize fundraising, empower communities, and challenge entrenched interests. Yet many economists are deeply skeptical. Professor Nouriel Roubini is blunt. These are the shut coins of the crypto world. They have no intrinsic value and are ripe for manipulation. Behind the scenes, regulators fear that political figures engaged in coin launches present a nightmare scenario. An unholy alliance of market volatility, regulatory gray zones, and the risk of selling special access, not just to Americans, but to foreign nationals and entities under investigation. The presence of Justin Sun, with his ongoing SEC case, only heightens these concerns. Imagine the headlines if, say, a major regulatory action coincided with a sharp price movement in a politician-backed coin, prompting allegations of insider trading or pay-to-play politics. Meanwhile, average investors face their own dilemma. Many are drawn by the glamour, by the promise of being in the room where it happens. But the vast majority get in late, chasing spikes and usually left holding the bag when prices crash. In this new landscape, the lines between support, speculation, and influence have never been blurrier. As the night of the Trump dinner ended, guests posted selfies, plates gleamed, and the crypto world, at least for a moment, felt center stage. Outside, the protests continued and journalists pressed for answers. Was this the dawn of a new era where crypto and politics are inseparable, or the opening act of a regulatory crackdown that could stifle innovation for years? So, as Justin Sun and other mega investors toasted their access, and Trump promised to bring crypto back to America, a profound question looms. Are we witnessing the future of political fundraising and technological innovation, or a dangerous blurring of public and private interests, ready to explode? But that's just the beginning. Because underneath the glitz and headlines, a deeper battle is brewing, between the promise of open technology and the risks of unchecked influence. With Congress, the SEC, and a global audience watching, what happens next could redefine who gets to shape the rules of money, power, and the internet for a generation. As the echoes of Trump's Trump coin dinner fade and the last glasses of champagne are cleared from the tables at his golf club, the real drama is just beginning. What happened that night wasn't just a glittering, exclusive soiree. It might be a turning point in how money and influence flow through American politics. The future, as always with crypto, is both dazzling and dangerous. Let's fast forward and ask, where does this lead? The fusion of meme coins and political power has opened a Pandora's box, and what comes next could reshape not only campaign finance, but our very definitions of legitimacy, trust, and democracy. First, consider the scenario where this model spreads. If Trump's Trump coin dinner proves lucrative and relatively controversy-proof, other politicians could rush to launch their own crypto tokens. Imagine a world where every candidate, local and national, has a signature coin. Supporters no longer simply donate, they invest, speculate, and trade. Fundraising becomes a 24/7 online market, and political loyalty is measured not just in votes, but in blockchain balances. As Justin Sun, the dinner's biggest spender, put it, "Crypto is the new frontier. Why shouldn't politics join?" If this vision plays out, we could see decentralized campaign platforms, real-time fundraising dashboards, and influencer-style endorsements that turn elections into meme-fueled, viral investment events. But here's the catch. When campaign access is denominated not in votes or volunteer hours but in volatile digital tokens, the risks mount. Critics are already warning that these hybrid models could undermine transparency, empower foreign or anonymous donors, and stoke new waves of financial manipulation. Senator Jeff Merkley, protesting outside the dinner, called it the Mount Everest of corruption. And it's not hard to see why. If politically exposed persons start trading influence for coin purchases, the integrity of elections could be at stake. There's also a regulatory time bomb ticking. As Senator Richard Blumenthal launches investigations and the SEC circles both the coin and attendees like Justin Sun, we may soon see a crackdown. One plausible future: Congress passes new laws strictly regulating or outright banning the use of crypto in campaign fundraising. The SEC could treat campaign meme coins as securities, imposing harsh penalties on unregistered offerings and wallet anonymity. Or perhaps the opposite. Under a more crypto-friendly regime, legal loopholes could let these tokens flourish. Stablecoins and meme coins might become as common as PACs or super PACs, giving rise to a shadow ecosystem of political influence with little oversight. The stakes go beyond politics. Right now, meme coins are mostly speculative and fun, what economist Nouriel Roubini famously derided as the ESH-T coins of the crypto world. Yet their underlying tech is powerful. If political actors create massive crypto economies, it could boost innovation, accelerate adoption in the financial mainstream, and challenge the central role of the US dollar. Or it could create systemic risks. If a political meme coin crashes overnight, it could trigger chaos for everyday investors and ripple through traditional markets. Technology adds another twist. As more campaign tokens launch, hackers, scammers, and manipulators will inevitably follow. Rug pulls, pump-and-dump schemes, or whale investors making backroom deals, all these fears will intensify. And what happens if politicians become beholden to the largest crypto whales, foreign or domestic, who can buy the most access? But it's not all doom and gloom. Some experts see a different possibility. Dr. Julia Edwards, a Princeton economist, argues, if properly regulated, crypto fundraising could democratize campaigns, letting small donors pool together and participate in new ways. Blockchain can create transparency. Every contribution is publicly logged and traceable, at least in theory. Smart contracts could automate compliance, and new voices, not just mega donors, might have a shot. Still, the lesson may be that technology alone can't fix underlying human incentives. Without robust guardrails, the crypto-political fusion could worsen the very problems it promises to solve: inequality, shadowy influence, and erosion of public trust. So, with all these competing futures in mind, what does this mean for you? First, it's a wake-up call. Whether you're an investor, a voter, or just a curious bystander, the rise of political meme coins is rewriting the rules. The next time an election rolls around, you may be asked not just for your vote or a donation, but to join a Telegram group, buy a coin, or participate in a digital sweepstake. Are you ready to evaluate those offers, track the flow of money, and spot red flags? If you dabble in crypto, remember, high-profile, celebrity-driven coins are incredibly risky. They're subject to wild speculation, reputational shocks, and, if regulators swoop in, legal jeopardy. Read the smart contract. Check for transparency. Beware of promises with no delivery. If you're passionate about democracy, this is your chance to push for reform. Demand clear rules. Insist on real-time transparency. Support watchdogs investigating conflicts of interest and foreign influence. As the Trump dinner shows, the line between innovation and impropriety is razor thin. Public scrutiny and strong institutions are the only way to keep the experiment honest. And if you're simply fascinated by the spectacle, know that history is being written in real time. We're witnessing the first major collision between decentralized finance and centralized political power, and neither side is backing down. Here's a practical tip. If you want to track the next big political coin launch, follow public blockchain analytics. Tools like Etherscan or Inca Digital let you watch wallets, trace transfers, and spot outsized purchases. Social media can be a treasure trove, but also a minefield of misinformation. Cross-check claims before you join a hype cycle. For activists, there's an opportunity to educate your peers. Host meetups, write explainers, push candidates to address crypto policy openly. Don't let the agenda be set only by billionaire investors or campaign insiders. Your voice matters in shaping these new rules. And let's not forget the global stakes. If the US normalizes crypto-powered political access, the trend may boomerang around the world. Authoritarian regimes could exploit it for even less transparency. On the other hand, opposition parties in countries with broken banking systems might use blockchain to break through censorship and corruption. The impact of this American experiment will echo far beyond its borders. Ultimately, the answer to our big question, will the fusion of crypto and politics revolutionize fundraising and technology or trigger a backlash that threatens public trust, may depend on what happens next. The Trump coin dinner has set the stage and fired the starting gun, but the ending is still unwritten. If regulators move swiftly, new guardrails could channel blockchain's promise while containing the worst abuses. Or, if oversight fails and public skepticism grows, a backlash could sweep it all away, setting the cause of crypto innovation back years. Here's the secret most people miss. For all the noise, the real power lies not with the politicians or the whales, but with the public's vigilance. Memes and markets are tools. They can build stronger, more inclusive democracy or fuel new forms of manipulation. The outcome is up to you. So what will you do? Will you join, resist, or shape the next evolution of political power? Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you welcome crypto politics, or do you see danger ahead? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the future of money, tech, and power. And here's one last twist. According to blockchain data, more than 10% of Trump coin holders are based outside the US, meaning that even now the story